everyone, welcome to the guide video that explains how students can access the general ability for scholarship tests. Pre-Uni offers a range of online tests where students can access them to try to improve their general ability skills. Now, these tests are offered on the Cyberschool website, so the steps to access the tests are going to begin by logging on to your account. Logging in can be conducted by pressing the login button at the top right-hand corner of the screen. This will then bring up the pop-up box where students can then enter their student ID and password to access their account. After logging in, students will be able to access their account. To then find the scholarship test for general ability, please click on the My Test option on the top screen, and in the options that appear, please click on the General Ability for Scholarship option. This will then bring up a new pop-up box containing the conditions of use on accessing the online test program. Once students have completed reading the conditions of use, students can then remove the pop-up box by clicking on the green I agree button at the bottom hand corner of the page. That should remove the pop-up box and allow students to access their scholarship tests. So, as you can see on the screen, there are numerous tests available for students to complete, both for the category of verbal reasoning and non-verbal reasoning. Now, although these categories are numerous, they have only been organized in alphabetical order, meaning that these categories aren't ordered in a specific order of importance, and students are completely free to choose whichever category they wish to complete. So once students have chosen the appropriate test that they want to conduct, so for example, let's say I want to do the Analogies Figure Relationships question category, then I can click on the Test Start button for that corresponding category. This should bring up the test for that specific category, and we can see that it was for non-verbal reasoning, analogies, figure relationships, just like I wanted. So we can read in the instructions that students have 20 minutes to complete 10 questions. So to begin the test, all I have to do is press on the Start button. This then brings up the list of questions that I can complete for that category. In all of the question tests, there will always be a blue left page on the first page containing a short description on what the category is about and may contain additional information about the category, including hints and tips for the questions. It will also contain an example question with a written solution for that question so that students can see a quick example. Once I have read the blue description, I can then continue to do my 10 available questions. So for example, I've selected option A for question 1 and I can continue through the test. So once I have finished the end of the test, I can read my progress summary to make sure I've answered all of the questions and complete the test by clicking on the blue Finish button. Then the page for the scholarship test will then update with my score, and as we can see, because I guessed my answers, I've gotten 0 out of 10 questions correct, and the percentage of questions I've gotten right is also displayed in brackets, and you can see I've gotten 0%. If I want to revise my test and see where I went wrong, I can then re-click on that red button, which will then show me the exact test I've done before and tell me whether or not my question was correct. And you can see in the top left-hand corner that my answer for question 1 was in fact incorrect. And I can then choose to see the solution for the question by clicking on the white View Solution button at the bottom of the screen. Once students have gone through all of the solutions, the students can then close the test and then go back to their Cyberschool page. Now, once students have then read the correct answers and the techniques on how to answer the questions correctly, students can then choose to do a retest. And we can see that there is a retest button next to my red score button. Now, clicking on this button will then create a pop-up saying that the current test result will be deleted and do you want to do it again? So as the pop-up says, choosing to click on the retest button will actually remove my history of the previous test. So my old score of 0 out of 10 will be removed if I choose to do a retest. Clicking on the OK button will then reload the same test I have done before, which allows students to then apply their new skills to the test. So thanks to the presence of the retest option, students are free to theoretically attempt the same test an infinite amount of times if they wish to do so. This allows students to use the scholarship test as a way to continuously improve their marks. So this concludes the guide on how to access the scholarship tests for general ability. Thank you everyone for listening to this video.